Did you know there are healthcare professionals who work from home reviewing medical records instead of seeing patients? And many of them earn an excellent seasonal or year-round income. If you ever wonder what a HEDIS reviewer actually does all day, you're in the right place. Today, I am taking you behind the scenes of a real day in the life of a HEDIS reviewer. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what the job involves, the skills employers look for, and whether this career might be a good fit for you. And make sure you stay until the end because I am going to share the number one mistake I see new reviewers make and how you can avoid it. So let's jump in. Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Lanette. I have spent years helping healthcare professionals build careers in medical record review, HEDIS, quality improvement, and healthcare documentation. One of the questions I hear almost every day is, what does a HEDIS reviewer actually do? Most people have heard the name HEDIS. Some have even seen remote job postings, but very few people actually understand what happens once you get hired. Today, I'm pulling back the curtains and showing you what the work really looks like. So let's start off at, what is HEDIS? What does HEDIS stand for? HEDIS stands for Healthcare Effectiveness Data and Information Set. Think of it as a healthcare quality scorecard. Health plans use HEDIS to measure whether patients are receiving recommended preventative care and chronic disease management. So are these patients receiving preventative care? Are they having proper and adequate chronic disease management? And is it being documented correctly? That is the key. Is it being documented correctly? So now healthcare organizations rely on accurate data to improve quality, and that's where we come in, guys. That's where HEDIS reviewers make a real impact. So coming up next, I show you exactly what happens when you log in for your first day. Of course, after you do all that good stuff with human resources, right? How really does it happen when you start reviewing medical records? So imagine it's 8:30 in the morning. You log into your secure work computer and access electronic medical records. You're going to be abstracting medical records using the abstraction software and quality review systems. Your assignment may include reviewing dozens of patient charts. So you have to think of yourself as a healthcare investigator. Your job is to find the documentation that supports each quality measure. So I'm going to show you an example. We're going to jump right into it. So as I stated earlier, when we are looking to abstract for a quality measure, the first thing we need to do, we really need to have two screens. You're going to have one laptop, two screen, or laptop, and another monitor. So when I say two screens, I mean two monitors. So like I said, you can have your laptop and another monitor. If you don't have two screens, if you're not going to go out and buy one, get an HDMI cord, plug it right up into your TV, and you can have your laptop and your TV screen. Okay? You need two screens because when you're reviewing, one screen is going to have the actual medical record, as you see here. The next screen is going to have the quality intelligence software, as you see here. That's where you're going to insert your findings. Okay? That's where I'm making it a little larger. That's where you're going too large, right? That's where you're going to insert your findings. Because after you abstract the medical record, and you hear me keep saying abstract, right? I don't want to get it confused with reviewing the medical record. Are we reviewing the medical record? Yes, we are. But we need to abstract the medical record. We're looking in the medical record to find exactly the documentation that the quality measure is asking us. Okay, that's very important. So one screen, you're going to have the actual medical record. The next screen, you're going to have the quality software where you're going to insert your findings. So here we're looking at an example for cervical cancer screening. Now, there are many different types of quality software. I am just showing you one quality software that usually is going to host the admin data. Now, it depends whatever way, whatever process that organization has, that you'll follow. However, it's still going to be the same foundation. You're going to have a system where you need to abstract the medical record. Even if they use an Excel spreadsheet, they may use a Cotivity, they may use a database where they host all these medical records. However, you still need to be able to upload or download the medical record. All right. And then you're still going to need a database or a system that you'll have to verify, is this the right medical record? So if you've reviewed a medical record, how do you know what medical record you should review? You have to make sure it is the right patient and the right medical record. So in this example quality software, we have patient Wendy Klein Thomas. And we know that we're looking for cervical cancer screening. That is the quality measures. Now, guys, if you don't know the quality measures for HEDIS, then you got to take another training or join the HEDIS Reviewer Academy. But take a HEDIS training where you can get learn the HEDIS specs, right? Or I should say the NCQA specs. All right. I don't want to use too much big terminology because I don't want to scare you guys. All right. So here we're looking for the quality measure, cervical cancer screening. And we have Wendy Klein Thomas, date of birth of January 15, 1987. So we will have to identify this member, or for 2027, it's going to be this person, right? HEDIS is changing a lot of its, NCQA is changing a lot of its terminologies. So you're going to identify if this member to the right medical record. Okay, so this would literally come, this quality software will literally come from the insurance company. That insurance company is going to say, hey, we're looking for Wendy Klein Thomas. We have a date of birth of January 15, 1987. And they're going to tell you where to upload her medical record. So here we have a medical record that they gave us. So the first thing that we need to do is make sure this patient is the same patient that's in the medical record. So here we have Wendy Klein Thomas. So we're going to the first medical record. And here we have Bobby George Smalls with a date of birth of 12/25/1986. Is this the same member? No, it's not. It's not the same member, but I'm not going to review. I just want to see, is two members within one chart, right? Because the whole process is when the insurance company requests the medical records from the provider, from the doctor, the PCP, the endocrinologist, the ongoing care provider, the provider will send the medical records to the insurance company. Now, if they have an EMR system, the insurance company should be able to have access to that provider's EMR system, especially if they're in network. That provider's EMR system, and then the insurance company will have their own medical record team or department that will go in and access the member's medical record. Okay? And these medical records is not only going to be accessed for HEDIS, but it's going to be accessed for coding, for risk adjustment, all that good stuff. So if that medical record team accessed the medical records, it could have been a slip in the system where they have combined two patients' medical records together. So our job to make it a little bit easier and make it more of an ecosystem with the health plan and make sure we work well with different teams to see, hey, did that happen? Or it's just all one patient? Did they merge two patients' medical records together? Or is this just one patient's medical record? So even though we already identified that this is not the same patient, but I want to see, is any of Wendy's medical records or medical pages is in this medical record? All right. We already know it's Bobby George Smalls. I am scrolling down. That's Bobby. Yep, this is all. Yep. Oh, Bobby. I'm looking at the top. I could be scrolling too fast. See, this is where I'm looking at. You can see where it says Bobby. Bobby George Smalls. All right, so this medical record have a lot of pages. I don't see anything for Wendy, but I'm still looking because it looks like it has a lot of pages in this medical record. Yep. Okay. We're still looking. All of this is Bobby. Why are we looking? Why are we searching? Okay, so all of this is Bobby. So there's none of Wendy's pages in this medical record. So we can't review this medical record, right? Because we're asked to review a medical record for Wendy. And this is not a medical record for Wendy. However, this is a medical record for Bobby. All right, so we can't review this record. We're going to send it right back to that medical record team and let them know, hey, this is the wrong patient medical record identified with this patient Wendy Klein, and they'll do their thing, what they do. Okay, but now for education training purposes only, let's just say we have to look for CCS, cervical cancer screening, for Bobby. Okay, Bobby George Smalls. Okay, we don't know if it's a female or a male yet, just by looking at the name, right? You don't know. So we're looking for cervical cancer screening. Guys, you got to know your measures, okay? Because if you don't know your measures, you got to take one of the trainings, because what I'm about to go through with cervical cancer screening may seem like you may be missing step because you don't know what to abstract. But we know for cervical cancer screening, we need to abstract the Pap test, right? Or HPV test and Pap test, or an exclusion. And what's an exclusion? Total hysterectomy, total radical hysterectomy, right? Not a partial hysterectomy. All right, so we are looking for a Pap test. First of all, we've got to identify how old this member is, right? Because there's age criteria. All right, this member is within the age criteria. If it's 21 to what? Then if they over 21, what happens? You got to know your measures. I'm not going to tell you. Okay, so we're looking to see if this member had a Pap test within the last 3 years, or HPV test or co-testing within the last 3 years. That's what we're looking for. Okay. This is an ER visit. This is a long medical record. Okay. Even though it's an ER visit, I'm still going to be looking in the past medical history, surgical history. I want to know if they had a total hysterectomy. Okay. I don't see it. I'm just going to do a couple of pages to cut it short. This is an ER visit. I'm not really looking for ER visits. I'm looking for, okay, this is a cardiologist. This looks like it is a telephone encounter. How do I know? Right here. And I'm pointing, guys, like you're in the classroom. But this is a telephone encounter right here. All right, this is another ER. Now, is it okay to look at hospital records? Good question. For CCS. Good question. And if you want to know, come to the HEDIS Reviewer Academy. Okay. Physician, chiropractor. I mean, you never know with a chiropractor, probably not. But it says past surgical history, past medical history, nothing there. All right, I'm looking emergency room. And I have not looked at this record for CCS. Charles, okay, this is ophthalmologist. Okay, optometry. Okay. Pap smear, HPV test, and exclusion. That's what we're looking for. We're not looking for an eye exam. Okay, this is not EED. This is a colonoscopy. This is not COL. I mean, it could have had that they had a total hysterectomy if they had one. So I would look at any of the surgical history. Let's see if they have it here. Nope. We're not looking for diabetes. That's the end of the report. I was going to cut it short, but we looked at that. We reviewed that record quickly. So if we was reviewing Wendy's record and we identified that it is Wendy, right? We identified that this is the right member, this is the right member's record, and that it is Wendy, then this record will be non-compliant for CCS, cervical cancer screening. Now, what does that mean? How would we be able to identify that it was non-compliant? Where will we put that at? Okay, so let me share my screen again. We're going to go right back up to that quality software system. We're going to go right back up to page 1 because we identified that this record is not compliant. It's now some health plans state that they will ask you to give them a reason why, or it may be a checkbox. Not compliant because no evidence of CCS, no evidence of COL, or wrong provider type, or so they're gonna give you, or outside of the measurement year. Some of them give you check boxes, but it depends where you work, right? There's a lot of health plans. Okay, so if we did find it, we will put them, verify the member's name, date of birth, the medical record review date, the medical record results, and then we'll put the page number. Why? So when the overreader comes and look at our findings, they'll know exactly where to go to. That's an overreader is someone that would just verify what we abstracted. Okay. So that's where we would put it. So that's all you have to do as a HEDIS reviewer. That's it. Not hard, right? Not hard at all. The only thing that you really need to do is to make sure you understand the measures. And you remember, I didn't say memorize the measures. Understand the measures and understand how to abstract the measures. Okay? So your question is simple. Can I find the documentation that confirms that this quality measure occurred within a required time frame? If yes, you abstract the information. If the documentation isn't there, it generally can't be counted for the measure. Okay? So every chart represents a real person. This is real members. Even though we're not doing hands-on patient care, we are still representing a real person. Okay? Accurate reviews help identify care gaps. It improves providers' documentation, it improves health plan quality scores, and support patient better outcomes. Okay, so this role as an HEDIS reviewer, it is meaningful and impactful on healthcare quality. What makes a great reviewer? Great reviewers are detail-oriented, curious, organized, comfortable reading medical records, and committed to continuous learning. So you don't need to memorize every HEDIS measure, as I stated earlier, but skills are built through practice. So what is the biggest mistake? Because I told you when this video first started, I was going to let you know what was the biggest mistake. Many new reviewers spend too much time memorizing measures before learning how to navigate a medical record. Learn the chart first. Learn how to identify if it's the right member. Is this the right patient? Learn how to identify within the measurement year. Learn how to identify the difference between a shared EMR and a regular EMR system. Okay, so you really need to learn the chart first. So how would you do that? Of course, I'm going to say, come to HEDIS Review Academy. But confidence comes from reviewing charts. It's not just reading about them. So now over the years, I learned that HEDIS isn't something you master in a weekend. So that's why I created the HEDIS Review Academy. And this is a learning community where reviewers continue developing their skills through chart review practice, live discussions, update on measure changes. And you're going to need the updates because they did a lot of updates on not only ECDS, a lot of measures is going to ECDS. We got to learn about that. You got to learn about FHIR, FHIR. What is that? What does that do? And if most of the measures are going to ECDS, what does that do for us, right? How does that impact HEDIS reviewers through the hybrid season? And what is the correlation with HEDIS reviewers and CODIS? All right. So if that sounds helpful, you'll find more information in the description below. So if you found this video, please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. All right? Every week, I will share education, chart review tips, career advice, interview preparation, and remote job strategies. So leave a comment below and let me know what HEDIS topic you would like me to cover next. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you at the next video. Have a great day. Bye-bye.